Welcome to episode 82 of the Epilogue Lady podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook and Etsy as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. There is also a group for this podcast on Ravelry, where you can take part in make-alongs and the occasional giveaway. There is also a Ko-fi page for this podcast, where you can contribute with funds for shipping out prices and stuff like that. And there I start my podcast with stuff like that. And as you can tell, I'm going to have some sunshine on the top of my head from time to time during today's podcast because we've had rain and overcast for about a week. And the day I'm going to record, of course, the sun comes out. And I couldn't be bothered setting up at the back of the living room. So off and on, I'm going to have to squint a bit and lean forward. I have moved the table as close to the window as I possibly could. So we'll have to live with this, I guess. And did I do everything in my intro? I think I did. I haven't done this in a month and it's strange how quickly you forget stuff. Before I start talking anything more about life stuff, I can tell you what I'm wearing, so we get that out of the way. This is the Everyday Tee by Twin Stitches Design, and I've knitted in Sandnes line. And the life stuff, well, the summer vacation didn't turn out quite like I wanted it to. I had decided not to dye yarn or record or anything because I wanted to have a proper vacation. I did some custom orders, but nothing for the shop. And we went to Tromsø. Speaking of which, there will be a quick montage at the end of this episode showing you bits from the trip to Tromsø. I've been doing vlogs from Tromsø before, so I decided I didn't want to do an extra episode just with the trip to Tromsø. So that's at the end of the podcast. Thing is, my 2 sons had spent a few days in the south of the country to celebrate their grandfather's 80th birthday. And on his way north to Tromsø, my youngest picked up COVID. He got sick first, and 24 hours later, I got sick. So he had to stay here longer than we planned because he couldn't go home until he tested negative. And I don't think I've been that sick for a while. I had a fever, I still have a cough, and I still have sort of clogged sinuses, but I can taste again. I couldn't taste for about a week, and for someone who loves their food, that was no fun. So I'm still not back to normal, so there won't be a shop update on Sunday. I have only done custom orders. And that's because whenever I get a custom order, I tend to dye it when I get it. We dropped off a local custom order yesterday, and another custom order is going out in the mail on Monday. And it's not a big problem that there won't be a shop update on Sunday because I have plenty of yarn in stock. So there's plenty for you to choose from if you decide you want to support me and buy some yarn. So hopefully I'll feel up to dyeing next week. So there will be a shop update the Sunday in 2 weeks. I have, among other things, I think I'm sold out of self-striping. So I have to dye up some self-striping, and I have to start planning for Halloween. I haven't got anything planned for my this year's Halloween colorway. So I decided this year I wanted to get the inspiration first and then dye the yarn to match, instead of dyeing the yarn first and then finding a colorway name afterwards. So this year I'm going to find the inspiration first and then dye the yarn to match. I'm doing the usual Halloween kits this year as well, with yarn and a bag. This year the Tangled Skein CA, my good friend Sue, is doing the bags, and I have no idea what that is going to look like. So I know what the fabric looks like, but the yarn still going. I think we will do a 70-gram sock set this year with the Halloween kits, a 50 plus 20 sock set. I think I might do that with the Christmas kits as well, and those will also be bags will be made by Sue, the Tangled Skein CA. I have to drink my coffee, so if you think it's no, if you don't like seeing people eat or drink on camera, I'm sorry. I just have to have my coffee because I'm tired all the time. Some of it is because I don't sleep very well. I cough a lot when I go to bed. That's a weird thing. As soon as I lay down, I start coughing. So I'm tired all the time, so I need my coffee, or I will just fall asleep talking to you, I'm sure. I put makeup on today, so I won't look as tired. So a bit more life stuff. I haven't got a lot of more life stuff. My son went home on Wednesday, and the 30th, August 30th, something with me in that word. I get my oldest friend, not oldest as in she's really, really old, but we've been friends since I think we met when we were 6 or 7. We met when we started school. And we've been best friends ever since day one. It was love at first sight, if you could say that about making friends. So we've been living in different parts of the country for ages, but whenever we meet, we're back to it's like we met yesterday. And we're both looking forward to that, and it will be the perfect ending for my summer. And I really love that she's coming here this late this summer, because I'm not a fan of summer, to be honest with you. It's too hot, and there's loads of people everywhere, and it was better this year because we got air conditioning, so it was more comfortable staying inside, so I had that excuse for not going outside when it was really warm. But we've had sort of so-so summer when it comes to weather, and that's sort of okay, I guess, for us, not for people that enjoy going swimming in the sea and stuff. Sorry about that, my mobile phone isn't on silent. Hopefully I won't get a lot of those. And I think that's the live stuff. Not a lot has happened. And that's the way I like it. Especially when I'm not feeling well. And hopefully I'm going to get better after the weekend, so I can start dyeing yarn properly on Monday or Tuesday, depending. So that was my life stuff. And I should probably start talking about knitting. Only one thing left to say. and this is more admin. There will be the Arctic Summer of Socks. There's still a few weeks left to go on that. I will be drawing prizes on August 31st, and the prize winners will be notified immediately, and I will be announcing the prize winners in the first podcast in September. And that's that. And at the end of this episode, I promised you a giveaway, and there will be a giveaway. And I'll be giving away a sweater, and I'll show you what sweater and give you the prompt at the end of this episode. Then we're going to start talking about knitting. It's mainly socks because it's summer and I prefer knitting socks in summer, but I have one UFO. I went through my project bags and I found a sweater that was almost finished, and it's the Sea Glass Tea by Wool & Pine. Maybe I should hold it right side up. And it's this. And the reason why it's taken me almost a year to finish this thing is because I realized when I was about here that I was never going to wear this. Because initially I wanted to do this long sleeved. And then I realized that there was no way I could get the sleeves looking the same with this yarn. Because I've only used 2 different colorways in Viking Nordlys to get this effect. And it was going to be too warm for a t-shirt. But I finished it off, I've done the ribbing, and it's finished. So this might end up as a gift for someone, or I might actually just put it out for sale. We'll see. But at least it's finished. So that's the Sea Glass Tea by Wool & Pine. And now it's finished. One less sweater on the needles. And I also finished some socks. The first pair I'm showing you, you've seen as a work in progress. They're finally finished. And it's a pair of heel-toe do-si-do. The pattern is by Crazy Sock Lady Designs. And the yarn is by Asfaltsflickan. And these are going to sew in Canada. Mainly because I figured, she should have a pair of socks in a Christmas box. And instead of finding something completely different, I realized that these are her colors. So I just knit the foot a bit longer. So these are going to sew in Canada. And that gave me an excuse for buying another skein of yarn from Asfaltsflickan, and I'll show you that in show and tell. And the 2 next sock patterns, the socks I have knit, you haven't seen because I've started and finished them since the last time I podcasted. And this is the Margarita mix by Paper Daisy Creations or Lisa K. Ross. And they're knit with 4 different minis. And I love the way she intended the pattern intended for you to use 4 different minis, and 2 dark and 2 light, and changing it around. So these are really fun. And they're shorties, and I love shorties. So these are for me, and I'm going to start wearing them as soon as I've shown them to you. And one more pair of socks. The yarn on these, all of the yarn is Norah George from my Harry Potter blanket club. I still have minis left from that. So that's the yarn on these. And this is a really, really brilliant detail. The ribbing under the center of the foot. That makes them actually really, because you have the lace on top, and lace can make socks a bit loose on your feet, but because of the ribbing under the foot, they stay put. So that was brilliant. And the next pair of socks, they're still on my plastic blockers because they just dried. And that's the Candy Mountain Socks by Twin Stitches Design. And I've used 50 grams of a 50 gram skein of undyed Folldale sock. I still have lots left. And a 10 gram mini set from Nikki Sleep. And I only used 5 different colors on the socks, and the 6th mini in the set was green and Sue green. So that's mini is headed to Canada. And that will be a full 360 because Nikki Sleep is a Canadian dyer. The only thing I did the modification on this pattern. The points in these, I think it's bunting. I think it's supposed to be bunting. The points were at the same place all the way down. I just moved them to the side a bit, so I get every other sort of a zigzag effect. I'm not sure what I like better. I just decided to try it. So that's the modification I did on these. And I might keep these for myself. I did the difficult thing with having tiny feet and knitting patterned socks is that the foot often becomes too long for me. So I had to do a rather quick decrease on the toe to make them fit me, but they fit me. So I might keep these. So those are my FOs. And when it comes to whips, I'm going to show you 2 whips. I've been working a tiny bit on a different pair of socks, and I've been crocheting a bit on my granny corner to corner, but I will save them for another time. I'm knitting a sweater for hubby, and this is the back. I finished the back, and the shoulders is a really interesting shoulder construction on these. I've never knit a shoulder like that on something I've knit flat before. So it will be interesting to see when I try seaming this. This is the Malo sweater by, I just have to check, Kevin Castel. And the yarn is Highland Sport Arctic Crafts in navy and grey, and that's what I'm calling this because I've dyed it up for this sweater. So it's just semi-solid navy and grey. So that's the back. And this is how far I've gotten on the front. I still have a ways to go, but the stripes make it more interesting to knit flat because I get to change colors every now and then. I just started the grey stripe. So that's that. And then I have another sweater I started yesterday. A sweater I dyed up yarn. One of the custom orders I did was for myself because Joji's new pattern, I think it's called the Lace and Fade, or it's Fade and Lace. Lace and Fade Boxy by Joji. And I loved it the minute I saw it, but I have done it a bit differently. And this is my Boxy. And I'm losing stitches, so I have to fix that after I talk to you. So this is my Lace and Fade Boxy. And the colors are, this is Stracciatella on fine merino fingering, and this is Moody Mauve on Surrey Silk Cloud. And I'm doing the entire thing in just 2 colors. And I only dyed up 3 skeins of the fine merino fingering because the last time I knit the Boxy I only needed 3 skeins, or 3 skeins and a tiny bit. And because I was going to do the lace, I decided I don't need more than 3 skeins. And then I checked the pattern and my size was going to take more than 3 skeins. 25 meters more than 3 skeins of the fingering yarn. But then again, I've actually done it a bit differently this time, because the Boxy, I know the Boxy is supposed to be boxy. That's why it's called a Boxy. But I wanted to have it a bit more, not fitted of course, because it's still going to be a Boxy, but I wanted it a bit closer to my body. So it's going to be, instead of being this big, it's going to be this big, if you know what I mean. It's not going to be a lot of difference. It's still going to have loads and loads and loads of positive ease. But what I needed was the width at the end, at the start of the sleeves. That's where I needed it to be a size 4 over here. The rest I wanted to be a size 2. So that what I did, because you knit top down, I just used all the numbers for size 2, and then I used the numbers for size 4 when it came to how big you were to knit, how long you were supposed to knit before you joined in the round. So my Boxy will be a size 2 with size 4 sleeve openings and size 4 sleeves. So that's the difference, and maybe that will make me only need 3 skeins of the fingering. Let's see. I'll just do the sleeves shorter if I run out of yarn. So I'll do what I normally do when I kind of have exactly the amount of yarn I need. When I'm finished with the body, I divide the rest of the yarn into 2, and I knit the sleeves as long as they get with the yarn I have left, because I don't have a problem with 3/4 sleeves. So I prefer 3/4 sleeves a lot of the time, because I keep pushing my sweaters up anyway. So why knit that much extra on the sleeves? So those are the 2 sweaters I have on the needles. I'll try to finish the lace and fade. That's going to be a sample that I'm going to wear, if you know what I mean. I'm going to use it as a sample, but I'm also going to use it because I really love that sweater. And there's lots of alerts in the background because, again, I forgot to put my mobile on silent, so we'll just let it do its thing, because I'm not that popular a person, so hopefully it won't be too much. So that's what I have for knitting, basically. Looks like, even though I had quite a bit of life stuff this time, we have, it won't be too long. One thing I forgot to tell you about the life stuff is that we've done a bit of D&D this summer, because Hobby is, me and Hobby, as the introverts we are of course doing a campaign, just the 2 of us. Hobby is the dungeon master and I'm the player. So he is doing a couple of characters in addition to being the dungeon master. I only have 1 character so far. I'll probably pick up another character on the way. But it's so much fun, and Alan, my youngest, he had a cameo of sorts in the campaign while I was here, because we have a different campaign going with me and Alan, and his character from that campaign came by in this campaign. We sort of ran into him in a forest somewhere, so we got to play with us. So we've been doing a bit of that this summer as well. And thankfully, we discovered that it's possible to run a campaign being just 2 people. Because being introverts, because of COVID, we used to be part of a campaign, local campaign with some other people, but that sort of stopped happening because of the pandemic and everything. And we missed it, so why not run a campaign just the two of us? The light is going crazy here now. I apologize, but at least I'm finished showing you the knitting. And the reason why I remembered the D&D stuff now is that one of the two yarns I've gotten in the mail since the last time I saw you is from Hannah at the Corner of Craft, Chromatic Yarns, because she's doing a club with inspiration from campaign 3 of Critical Role. It's her Knitical Role club. And I'm going to show you the yarn from July. It won't be a spoiler, hopefully, because it's the yarn from July. And it's this yarn. And it's called Tonight I Bake. And this is going to be part of a shawl or something. I have been thinking of doing a sweater. A Critical Role sweater. But some of the yarns are sparkly, some are not sparkly. So, speaking of sparkly, I've actually ordered some undyed sparkly. I'm going to try with sparkly again. It didn't sell the last time I tried. But if nothing else, I can dye up some sparkle for myself. And this is the extra yarn I bought from Asfaltsflickan. It's called Love Bomb. I don't think I've shown you this before. And this is for a pair of socks for me. One thing more for show and tell. Hobby bought me a mug in Tromsø. And I really love this. He decided when he saw this, you need to have this. And I've always wanted one of these mugs. An enamel mug. And so that's what he thinks of me. Apparently. I haven't started using this yet. Because when I drink coffee, I always drink coffee in one of these. I should get a shelf somewhere where I just line up all my fun mugs, and because I don't use them. I use mugs for tea, but not for coffee. And I'm not sure why I started talking about that. And this should be called the Tangent Lady, not the Epilogue Lady. Ah, well. And then we are going to talk about the giveaway. As I mentioned before, after I lost all the weight, I went through my cupboards and took out all the clothes that were too big for me to donate. And then I realized a lot of those clothes were hand-knit sweaters. And I don't want to just donate hand-knit sweaters, especially when they're knit with hand-dyed, expensive hand-dyed yarn. I want to get something for it. So either I'm doing an auction on Instagram, I might do a section in the Etsy shop, but I'm not sure I'm going to sell a lot of sweaters that way, because most of you want to knit your own sweaters. That's the point of being a knitter, is you want to knit your own sweaters. So I'm not sure I'm going to sell a lot of them, but I might try Instagram auctions for sweaters. But now I'm going to show you the sweater I'm giving away. And it's my Soldotna crop. It's a Caitlin Hunter Boyland Knitworks pattern. And as you can see, this is a true crop. I've worn it twice over dresses. And the yarn is Arctic Crafts in DK. And it's a yarn I no longer stock. It's a base I no longer stock. So I can't use it as a sample either. And the colorways are custom for this sweater. I haven't dyed up any more of these colors, so it's not usable as a sample. So this is my Soldotna crop, and I'm giving this away. We're doing a giveaway for this sweater. It's really soft, and I think this is a non-superwash, I'm not sure. I think it's a non-superwash. And it's really warm, and it's perfect to put on top of other stuff, but even though it's supposed to be, plus it's supposed to have lots of positive ease, I think it has just a bit too much positive ease. On me, at least. So I'm giving this away. And the prompt is, what's your favorite thing that you have done this summer? Easy as that. By the way, the size of this, the bust circumference on this sweater is 50 inches. So you know, 50 inches bust circumference. And again, it's supposed to have loads of positive ease. So I'm not sure how much positive ease is recommended, but you can just take a tape measure and 50 inches if you like the way it looks. And if you know somebody that might like that sweater, you can of course enter the giveaway to give it away yourself afterwards. I don't care. Just what's your favorite thing you did this summer? Comment below and you're in for winning that sweater. And I will be drawing a winner before my next podcast episode in 2 weeks. So that's what I had. I might do another giveaway for a sweater sometime this fall. We'll see. I might put a sweater in as a prize for one of the knit-alongs because we start a new knit-along September 1st. We're starting the Spooky Malo, and that's going to run until October 31st, when I will start and November 1st, the Grinch Malo will start again. And those are the same as last year. Spooky Malo, anything Halloween related. The yarn can be Halloween related, the pattern can be Halloween related, or harvest or sewing related. And the Grinch Malo, same as last year. Either it has to be green or it has to be for you. It's not for gift knitting. If you decide to knit something for yourself at the time of year where people tend to knit a lot of Christmas presents, you can enter the Grinch Malo. Or if it's green, you can also enter the Grinch Malo. It doesn't have to be for you if it's green. And for both of those, the same rule applies as for all my other knit-alongs. If you knit something with my yarn, you get the double entry. And I've started collecting prizes for the Spooky Malo already. I got 2 lovely skeins of yarn from a subscriber in Canada the other day. I will show them to you when I show you the prizes for the Spooky Malo. And if somebody else wants to donate a prize, because I have going to do knit-alongs. I'm going to do a tea time Malo knit-along next year, and the Arctic Summer of Socks again. So I wouldn't mind getting more prizes for my prize box, because I think I have enough for this Spooky Malo, but I'm not sure. So just a little request there for prizes. And now I'm going to stop. This is turning into being an epilogue. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I'll just check my show notes. No, I haven't forgotten anything that I wanted to talk about. There won't be another Bente's Bag of Holding, I think, before my next podcast, because I haven't got anything particular to talk about. So that's it for episode 82. And my next giveaway will probably be sometime in September, because I have a podiversary in September. I have a birthday in September. So there might happen, something fun might happen at the end of September because of my birthday. Now I'm going to stop talking and start editing. And I hope you have a really nice weekend, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye bye.